I thought I was just being paranoid until strangers started showing up at my front door, claiming they were invited. At first, I blamed my smart gate. Then I checked the logs, and my jaw hit the floor. Someone had leaked my private gate code, and it wasn't just anyone. It was Karen, our HOA's self-appointed queen of neighborhood transparency. She wanted to teach me a lesson. So I taught her one back, publicly, brutally, and with receipts that broke the internet. I live in a private, gated neighborhood where residents rely on a smart access system. You enter your private code at the gate or use an app that grants one-time guest access. It's secure. At least it's supposed to be. That's why I was stunned when 3 days in a row random strangers showed up at my door. Day 1, a pizza guy delivering 4 boxes I didn't order. Day 2, a landscaping crew saying they were booked by the owner. Day 3, a woman with 2 kids asking where the open house was. Each one claimed they were sent the address and gate code. I checked my phone. My guest access logs were clean. No invites had been sent from my app. Something wasn't right. The moment I got to my security system logs, it hit me. My private code had been used multiple times by unfamiliar numbers. People were entering the same 6-digit code I had used since moving in, the same one I'd never shared with anyone, except the HOA. I confronted our property manager, who was visibly rattled. I didn't share it, I swear. But Karen did ask for everyone's access codes last month for safety audits. I assumed the board approved it. There it was. Karen. She was the HOA secretary, but in reality she acted like the self-appointed sheriff of the neighborhood, always posting passive-aggressive reminders in the HOA Facebook group, always reporting people for things like having garden gnomes that clash with the landscape, or watering too early in the morning. I knew she was petty. I didn't know she was dangerous. So I tested something. I changed my code, set it to something new, didn't tell a soul. 3 days later, that code had been used at the gate by 2 unknown license plates. Game over. She was still leaking it. It was time to fight back, but not with yelling or legal letters. No, I was going to let Karen expose herself, in public, with her own words. Phase 1. Setup. I installed a ring of discrete cameras around my property, not just at the door, but also capturing the gate area, my mailbox, and my front path. I then did something bold. I messaged Karen directly in the HOA chat group, writing, "Hey Karen, I've been getting some strange visitors lately. I've already sent footage to the authorities. Thought you should know." She replied, publicly, with, "Well, maybe if someone didn't make their house look like a welcome center, people wouldn't get confused." Translation? Guilty. Phase 2. The bait. Next, I created a decoy gate code and submitted it to the HOA as my new permanent access code. I also created a one-time use camera recording that would alert me if anyone entered that exact code. Within 48 hours, it was used, twice, by people driving what looked like rideshare cars. I flagged the footage, pulled the plates, and filed a report. But I didn't press charges just yet. I had a better idea. Public humiliation. Phase 3. The HOA meeting showdown. Every month we have HOA town halls. Karen always sat front and center, talking over others, complaining about how lax the neighborhood had become. This time I showed up early, with a laptop, projector, and one hell of a presentation. When they opened the floor for security issues, I raised a hand. "I'd like to share some concerns about data privacy," I said. Karen rolled her eyes. "If this is about your pizza delivery mix-up, I clicked play. Video 1. Footage of unauthorized visitors walking through my gate, waving at the camera, one even reading the code off their phone. Gasps. Video 2. A screen recording of the guest access logs, no entries. Video 3. Karen's public message in the HOA chat, mocking my security concerns. Then I dropped the final slide. A time-stamped record showing Karen had logged in to the HOA admin portal just before each incident, using her credentials. Silence. Until someone blurted out, "Karen, did you leak his code?" Her face turned sheet white. I didn't think it was a big deal," she stammered. "It's not like anyone was hurt. He's just trying to make a scene." "No," I replied calmly. "I'm protecting my home. And now everyone here knows you're willing to put us all at risk just to prove a point." Phase 4. The aftermath. The room was dead silent, except for the faint sound of Karen muttering under her breath, trying to recover her composure. It was clear, the truth was out, and there was no running from it. I could see the other residents in the room looking at her with disappointment. Some were even whispering, clearly shaken by the revelation that their own security had been compromised. Karen had always positioned herself as the neighborhood watch, but had betrayed the trust of everyone she claimed to protect. "I didn't think it would go this far," she mumbled, still trying to save face. "You didn't think it through at all," I shot back, my voice steady but firm. "You didn't just invade my privacy, you endangered this entire neighborhood for your own petty vendetta." One of the neighbors, Mrs. Greenfield, a quiet but sharp woman who lived across the street, raised her hand. "Is this really how we want to handle security, Karen? Leaking access codes?" Karen looked around the room, her face flushed with embarrassment. I thought it was fine. I didn't know it would lead to this." "Well, now you do," Mrs. Greenfield replied. "And frankly, this is more than just a mistake. It's a breach of trust. We need to reconsider your position." The crowd murmured in agreement, their glances shifting from Karen to the screen.
It was clear Karen had lost any semblance of credibility she had left. She went from the authoritative HOA secretary to a guilty party in a matter of minutes.
But I wasn't done yet. As the HOA meeting went on, I quietly pulled up a live feed of the footage I had collected earlier. It was time to hit Karen where it hurt, her online persona. In front of everyone, I posted the footage on social media, tagging her in it with a simple caption. "Here's what happens when a neighborhood protector crosses the line. Karen the gatekeeper. Privacy breach. Trust busted." Within minutes, the post went viral. My notifications blew up. Comments flooded in, some from people in the neighborhood, others from people who had no idea who Karen even was. "OMG, Karen, you should be fired for this." "I knew there was something off about that woman." "Karen, you're done." The comments went on, some supporting me, some just mocking Karen for her lack of judgment. The irony wasn't lost on me. Karen had spent so much time policing everyone else's business, and now her own had come crashing down. Her final stand. By the end of the meeting, Karen was still red-faced, trying to explain herself. She barely made a coherent argument, and her attempts to justify her actions only dug her deeper into the hole. It was clear to everyone there, she had not only violated privacy, but she had also broken the most important trust in a neighborhood, the trust that everyone's safety and security would be respected. But the real blow came later, when the HOA board members voted, overwhelmingly, to have her removed from her position. It was unanimous. Karen was out. The aftermath. Online. The real consequences, though, were yet to come. Karen tried to delete all traces of the post. She went into full damage control mode, but it was too late. The story had already spread like wildfire. The video of her meltdown in the HOA meeting was shared, reshared, and commented on by hundreds, and it was gaining traction on local news outlets. As for Karen, she tried to hide from the internet. She deactivated her social media accounts and even moved her profile pictures to obscure images. But it was no use. People knew her, and now they knew what she'd done. Her reputation was shattered beyond repair. The small actions she'd taken to control the neighborhood had spiraled into a PR disaster she couldn't escape. The final twist. A few weeks later, Karen attempted to address the situation in the HOA Facebook group, apologizing in a post that read, "I made a mistake. I was just trying to help, but I see now that I overstepped. I ask for your forgiveness." But it was too little too late. The residents weren't buying it. The comments flooded in. "Forgiveness? You compromised our security. It's too late for apologies. You lost our trust, Karen. You're done." In the end, Karen learned the hard way. You can't break the trust of a community and expect to get away with it, especially not when the whole neighborhood is watching. Her attempts to control the HOA and the privacy of everyone around her had backfired spectacularly. And me? I never felt more secure. The HOA board was more vigilant now, and we all learned a valuable lesson. Trust is the most important thing in any community. And when it's broken, it's not just the one who's hurt by it. It's everyone. Want to see how the situation escalated even further and what Karen did when she finally faced me? Subscribe and stay tuned for more HOA drama, and let's see if Karen will ever show her face again.